If Fallout Equestria were to be rewritten, I would personally cut out Arbu, but I would keep the theme and the concept of Little Pip questioning her ethics and her morality with the fight on Buckland Cross. That's
honestly Buckland Cross as like an entire thing, and then them trying to get them never leaving Buckland Cross and trying to get the other people in charge to stand down would have made a lot more sense.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just a lot more relevant to Pardon me. It's a lot more relevant to everything else that's going on. Can't support my voice today. It's a lot more relevant. It's a lot more relevant to everything else that's going on, and it's Arbu just kind of overshadowed it.
It does, yeah.
You know, as things played out, just in terms of like fandom reception, it's just like I wasn't entirely sure what Buckland Cross was and why it was called that until I reread it this time.
Yeah.
Also, basic, if you would, allow subtext to be subtext, that would probably, thin the volume considerably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mentioned it in the last podcast about citing the following ideas, 50 Shades, the idea that the internal monologue in the text can just actually it just makes the main character feel stupider because they sit there talking about exactly, they verbalize questions that the reader's already thinking, and we don't need that spelled out. It just makes them seem like an idiot. And how the movie, actually, by cutting out the monologue, just makes the character better.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway.
So I just have one last thing to say about Arbu, which will probably make this discussion a bit longer. Who was right? Was Little Pip in the right slaughtering Arbu, or did Arbu do anything wrong?
Oh man, this is. I feel like you're gonna have to wring a yes or no answer from me. Like you just pull.
Okay, I'll start.
Because...
I'll start.
Maybe we should put it this way. Which you kind of covered ethics perspectives. I mean, which way would you prefer to analyze this from? Utilitarian or Kantian, or
I mean, because I was gonna briefly come back to that
Aristotelian
and just kind of talk about the way we talk about ethics problems. I mentioned the trolley problem while we were on the break there, but the trolley problem is just kind of
the solution is multi-track drifting.
Hexakill. It's like there's a reason people don't like ethical philosophers is because they just bring up stuff like this that is annoying and doesn't have a comfortable answer. It doesn't make people feel good when they go like, okay, we have to choose between these two bad options, and that rarely come up in their unalloyed form in the real world without some kind of mitigating circumstance. And that just it comes back to how contrived the whole situation is, where it's just kind of as it feels like I shouldn't have to answer this because it's so dumb. I know that's not the answer you want.
No, it's not.
It just buys time while I think about God. I mean, I feel like the sensible option would have been to not fly into a murderous rage right away and just kind of let's put a pin in this problem and come back to it later.
Yeah.
That's what I, with a clear head and hindsight, would be thinking is the correct approach. Which, I mean, that's kind of at Calamity's, she had options stage of thinking. Pardon me. I mean, so again, to come back to the way we talk about ethical problems, we get as far as the range of possible responses is limited by the question and the assumptions the question makes.
Right.
It's like the whole why did you steal that handbag kind of presumes that you stole a handbag, and if you didn't steal a handbag, you're just like, what?
Yeah, there are certain axiomatic presuppositions to this whole situation.
I also, so I like how Horse just spent like 5 minutes like not answering the question. So to be opposite of him, I'm gonna go with the Kantian approach and basically say, yeah, no, that was while I don't think her methods were the best, the end result I think was correct. I mean, basically at this, while she had many options that she could have made, so did Arbu. Arbu has had so many options, and while I do understand from the perspective of, obviously there's always place as character and place as identity, they were like a quarter day's trot from Friendship City.
Yeah.
And Friendship City is like the nicest settlement in the wasteland. Why the fripp are you living in the middle of like goddamn nowhere with, okay, yes, the coffee lesbian sign. I would love to have a poster of that. But at the same time,
signs can be lifted and moved someplace else.
Yes, they can. You could in fact probably take that down, move it somewhere else. If you want to make Friendship City be really nice, just put it on the deck of the aircraft carrier. That's fine.
Yeah,
that will really attract people. You might need to set up a brothel, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. But that's the thing, is it's like not only did she have options, they had options, and they opted for things that basically jump in the face of most acceptable ethical
that makes sense.
things. And thus, I don't think that her methods were the best, but bad methods, right results.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it comes down to. It's like this, just to have the tiny like image of Hitler just slip back into frame again for a second.
Oh, now I feel bad about that. Now that I've said that, oh god.
No. Jesus Christ! No, that's not what I meant. I meant I'm talking about fascism again.
Okay. I was like, wait, have I just said something like horrible? Oh no.
No. That's the Heartshine is not a fascist. You can quote me on that. It's CaptainHoers 2019. Heartshine is not a fascist.
I hope not. Good lord.
But I distracted myself from what I was gonna say. The story kind of, back to assumptions. It's like assumes that any kind of due process is not on the table, and like I think that's the sticking point. It's it's the right outcome, wrong methods. It's like we would like to see Arbu not be a thing anymore, where people are killed and eaten for their meat. But like I'm a squishy person living in the 21st century and think that a fair trial is nice. And yeah, this gets into the weeds of things that KCAT has said about like defending Pip's actions in the wasteland and bringing up all sort of nasty examples of like Vietnam and Africa and stuff, and it's a mess. So yeah, basically I agree with
some of those examples, because at some points there's a comment that she made at one point that I just went, Kat, what point are you actually defending?
Oh god,
point?
Yeah, that means
like, God love you, but darling,
yeah,
my dude.
Yeah.
So I'm of the opinion that Arbu did absolutely nothing wrong here. And let me explain to you why is.
Just gonna play the wild card here and
Arbu did nothing wrong, much like Red Eye.
Much
like the Enclave.
Everything I say is right. So
okay. Thank God for me. No, continue.
Continue, basic, yeah.
So yeah, as has been established, Arbu operates on a rather utilitarian sort of frame of mind. They don't just eat any random pony that walks up. Like the Unity preacher that they cannibalize. Who is going to complain about a Unity preacher getting killed and eaten? I mean, nothing of value was lost that day. And raiders. Like, who cares about raiders? It's...
Sorry. Sorry. I'm just imagining, like, you saying that, and then, like, in my head, like, you know, like, the LDS or Jehovah's Witnesses showing up at your door and having a very interesting conversation with you, basically. But anyway, continue.
I'm thinking of, like, Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah!
I'm also like, just getting into, like, the, you know, just Fallout Equestria memes of just, like, you know, it's like you just have, like, you know, Red Eye saying this. It's, like, it fits.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and I don't think it's something that Arbu regularly did, because it's also established that they use the Radigator farm as a source of meat. But obviously they can't rely on that because of population control. Like, some years there's a smaller population of Radigators to feed on than other years. So, and eating ponies is seen as an emergency backup and something out of convenience. And also, it's like, that's meat. That's if they just buried the bodies, then that's something that could have been used for something better purposes. So they're actually being very conservative when they're eating ponies out of necessity, like raiders and other useless ponies on the wasteland. It's something that would have otherwise gone without any use. You know? You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're getting at. I mean,
yeah.
I'm
not very good at expressing myself. I know what I feel. It's just hard to get that into words.
I get what you're saying, coming out from, like, the waste not want not perspective.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Thank you.
I feel like,
and which really falls into that utilitarian perspective too that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and, like, it's a yeah. I feel like I mentioned it in passing that, like, the you know, if I mean, I've already been complaining about the story being too cluttered, but it's just add, like, a, you know, a couple of ponies struggling with, like, mad cow disease from their cannibalism, just in the background. that's getting a bit grim, even for Equestrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prion diseases. Those are fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
prions. Yeah. So yeah, that's really all I had to say.
Okay.
Littlepip is a raider. Arbu did nothing wrong. And also, like, one thing that really, really pisses me off about the Arbu chapter is the Arbu chapter is padding in this arc enough as it is, but then you have the fucking audio logs, which is padding within the padding chapter.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why are these here?
Yeah,
I think this is an excellent segue.
And like, look, because like in game terms, like, yeah, that would totally be something that would be really interesting to me. Like, I liked like the, like, audio logs in Fallout 4 about the, like, that one, like, gangster dude. Like, I've legit wandered around trying to find those because I had fun with those. But, like, in a book where you're trying to advance a plot and you're not like playing a walking simulator with guns,
yeah, that's basically
what it is.
Let's
be real. That's what Fallout 4 is.
Yeah.
But like, basically, like, you're right. You've already written a chapter that's padding for your plot, and you're now adding a C plot onto something that really didn't even need a B plot.
Yeah. I feel like this is an excellent segue into the section I have on narrative structure.